A city with 1,000 faces. The world's wealthiest city. It supposedly is a city which also has the best quality of life on earth. This is Zurich. And no, it isn't the capital of Switzerland.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
And well guys, willkommen in Zurich. So this is Zurich. I'm here in Switzerland and I'll be here for 2 nights. So come along with me and let's see what I can get up to in my very short stay here in this very, very beautiful and frankly, I heard quite expensive city. So come along with me and yeah, let's see what I can get up to. All right, let's do this.
Everybody just do your thing.
A lot of people mistake Zurich as the capital of Switzerland, just like how Sydney and Auckland are the capitals of Australia and New Zealand respectively. It's very easy to see how many can make that mistake. Zurich is the largest city in Switzerland, home to about 1.8 million people within its metropolitan area. The international airport in Kloten and the main railway station in the city centre are also the country's busiest. The official language spoken in Zurich is German, but I soon found out the people I came into contact with were mostly very effortlessly multilingual, speaking not just German, but also other languages of Switzerland like French and Italian. English is also widely spoken, so I never really had a problem with communication. If you're new to my channel, my name's Ryan. Born and bred in Singapore, I now call Australia home, and I create heaps of travel and foodie content. This trip is a small part of a wider travel series which sees us set foot in 7 countries over 2.5 weeks. Our first stop was Singapore, where we went to France and then ended up in Malta, where we'd spend most of our time in. From there, we traveled through Italy, Switzerland, UK, and finally Vietnam before returning home to Australia. So this travel series will include heaps of flight reviews, train journeys, and destination vlogs to last a few months, and they will be linked in the description below as and when they're published. If you don't wish to miss any episodes, make sure you hit the subscribe and the bell icon so you'll get notified whenever they go to air. Giving me a like will encourage me to keep content flowing. So here's a thanks because your support is very much appreciated. Like a lot of historical settlements, the origins of this beautiful city began around what's known today as Lake Zurich. Human settlements dating back to Neolithic, Bronze Age, and pre-Roman have all given clues to how far back these settlements go. Like large parts of Europe, this area was ruled by the Romans from 58 BC. At some point, Zurich was also ruled by the dynasty of Zechringen until the last of them died in 1218, and Zurich was then a free city going forward. This destination vlog is a continuation from our train journey between Milan and Zurich. The video for that beautiful train ride is linked in the description below, so make sure you check it out as well. Within walking distance from the railway station we disembarked at, we began this visit at the Ruby Hotel. The actual name of this Art Deco building, built in 1913, is Haus du Pont, and it was a cinema from the time it opened right until its final screening in 2014. Munich-based Ruby Group has since taken over and totally gutted and redecorated the interior, and voila! In October 2021, Ruby Hotel was finally revealed to the public. There are hotels, and then there's the Ruby. The unique setup begins at check-in because the desk is located within a swanky restaurant. The room we got was relatively tiny, and there are 5 categories of rooms available for booking. All of them are inspired by Hollywood starlets of the 1910s, which explains the historical Art Deco touches. Our view is into a common courtyard of this building complex, which is peaceful. The rooms at Ruby Hotel is meant to reflect the philosophy of lean luxury. Fresh and bright white, with glass rain showers integrated into the room. At the time of booking, the room rates ranged between 200 to 300 Swiss francs per night. Make sure you Google the latest rates if you're interested in this hotel. For administrative purposes, Zurich is divided into 12 districts. District number 1, or Kreis 1, is the oldest, and this is where I'm standing. It's known as Alstadt, and the earliest signs of Zurich's urbanization is found here, dated before 1893. Located on both sides of the Limmat River, Alstadt mostly consists of beautiful narrow cobblestone streets lined with shops and restaurants. There are also heaps of museums if that's what you're into. Not forgetting some rather iconic-looking Roman-style churches. No matter which side of the Limmat River you're standing in, if you have a camera in hand, be prepared to get some amazing shots of the surrounds, especially at dusk. For all the travelling we've done today, coming from Italy, we needed to quickly wrap up the day for an early rest. My 26-year-old brain was willing, but my 50-year-old body had other plans. Therefore, a quick, simple dinner of a burger was a great way to conclude day number 1. Dinner set us back just under 30 Swiss francs per person for a complete set, which meant burger, fries and a drink. So all things considered, I reckon this was rather reasonable. No? Suppose we could have gone to McDonald's if we wanted a cheaper dinner. But no. Holy cow will do for us tonight. And good morning guys, welcome to day number 2 here in Zurich. So today we are going to be joining a tour to go around the city. Since it's my first time here and I didn't really feel like doing any research before coming here, so I thought the lazy way is to just join a city tour for half a day to bring us around this beautiful city of Zurich to see what's there. Alright, so come along with me and see what this tour is going to be like. Let's do this. This morning, we're destined for the bus terminus. And you can see the main railway station of Zurich Hauptbahnhof over there. Just walk over to Starbucks and the buses are grouped together just across the road. Depending on what your tour entails, it will cost you between 80 to 200 Swiss francs per person. Our guide today was fluent in not just German, but also Portuguese and English, because that was our language mix amongst us within the group today. Our first stop on this tour is to look at Lake Zurich with the city in the background. Now, we've already done this yesterday when we arrived, and I even flew the drone to capture the shots here. I'm looking forward to the next one because we've already done all this yesterday. As we progressed along, the inevitable topic of Zurich being so expensive cropped up. Homes here cost $1 million upwards. Therefore, it isn't surprising to see over 60% of people who live in Zurich are renting rather than owning their own homes. Even then, the average monthly rental here comes in at 1,900 Swiss francs. So in order to live here, you need to be financially well off. And with Switzerland being one of the banking capitals of the world, you can be sure a lot of wealth and prosperity flows through right here where we're standing now. So we have stopped in Freudenberg, which is one of the most expensive areas here in Zurich. Of course, if you can afford this view behind me, you've probably made it financially in your life. Yeah, so Tina Turner, she passed away a couple of months ago. She's actually a street behind this road that we're on. Yeah, Freudenberg, yes, the Hill of Joy. With this view behind, I'll be very happy and full of joy as well. So the tour actually takes us to the old town behind us, but we've already done all that in detail last night when we arrived, so we're not going to follow them. So we are probably going to go somewhere and have lunch and come back to rejoin the group again to go out onto the lake on a boat. Now that's what I'm looking forward to. Yeah.
You should know me by now, being the foodie that I am. Whenever I'm visiting a country, I'm always game for local cuisine. So we found ourselves in Milchbar Zurich, a restaurant which specializes in just that. I've chosen to warm myself up with a hearty bowl of Budner Gurtensuppe. It's an extremely carb-heavy soup consisting of barley, potatoes, onions, garlic, beans, ham, and an extremely generous slop of heavy cream. Paula Deen and Nigella would be very happy. It's rich, filling, and definitely not something to have when you're on a diet. This dish hails from the Graubünden region of Switzerland, where they speak Romansch, the fourth language of this country. You could Romansch me all day long because I could have this dish again and again.
You know, in the past 2 days that we've been here, the weather has been very unseasonably warm. This is the first week of January where it's supposed to be snowing, temperature's supposed to be in its minus, but we've been having high single digits. Today is, the sun is out. It's about 11 degrees right now, which is unseasonably warm for this time of the year. So we're leaving tomorrow for London, and tomorrow the temperature drops, and the day after is supposed to snow. It's forecast to snow. So we've missed the entire white Zurich the entire time that we're here, just by that little bit.
There are numerous ways to enjoy Lake Zurich, and one of them is getting on a cruise to while your time away. Since many locals are so wealthy, it's not uncommon to find them on board indulging in this somewhat pricey touristy activity. The entire trip normally takes a little over an hour, but we're getting off halfway as we head towards our next activity. Meanwhile, we get to sit back and enjoy this cruise. You can choose to have lunch, enjoy a cheeky drink or a cuppa. But I chose the open-air sun deck because of my phobia of enclosed confines within a water vessel. Yeah, I once had a dream as a child I was drowning in the cabin of a cruise, and the only way out was through a tiny porthole window, which I could not squeeze out of. So that has kinda stuck with me ever since. In a previous video when I took the train from Milan to Zurich, we passed several prominent lakes in Switzerland, and they were either partially polluted or had severely diminished and dying fauna. However, Lake Zurich is neither of those. In fact, the lake is fed its waters by River Lindt via a canal in the east, and then drains into Limmat River in Zurich. Therefore, the water quality is incredibly clean. In fact, it's so clean it's further purified and fed into Zurich's water system. In summer, water temperatures hover around the mid-20s, which makes it perfect for swimming, resulting in the beaches around the lake becoming very popular during that season. Some 30 minutes later, we're now getting off at the ferry wharf in the suburb of Kirchberg, because our next destination is surely going to test my sugar levels and give me a high. If you fly Qantas as often as I do, you'd be familiar with these little brown balls of joy they give out. Ah yes, I'll never say no to a couple of Lindt chocolate balls, which explains why I've turned up at the source of these sinful nuggets of pleasure. Welcome to the main chocolate factory of Lindt, one of the largest Swiss chocolate manufacturers. There are other factories located in Germany, France, Italy, Austria, and the United States. But this one here in Kichberg is the mother of them all. I've been to another chocolate factory in Birmingham in the UK, run by Cadbury. But man, it isn't anything classy like this one. One of the main attractions in the central lobby is this sculpture with what looks like melted chocolate dripping from it. I'm sure many has been tempted to put a finger in there, which is why we can't really get too close to it. The overall design of this visitors lobby is just stunning. It was officially opened in 2020, and it showcases the fascinating process of chocolate making in a one-way walking tour, much like how you walk through an IKEA showroom. The tour itself is educational. You carry along these audio devices which have been preloaded with a language of choice, and you scan them along the way so you can listen to commentary. Tours like these are bittersweet because there is an underlying tone of colonization which came at a price in order for us to enjoy chocolates as a sweet treat today. So while I appreciate the effort put into these visual masterpieces, I'm also mindful about the sacrifices of the lands which got conquered. Ultimately, the highlight of any chocolate tour is the free-flowing samples. If I was a kid, this would be heaven. We get free flow of melted warm milk chocolate, white chocolate, and we even have machines feeding our hands with pieces of dark bitter ones. However, remember how I mentioned the chocolate balls earlier on with QANTAS? At the end of the tour, you can get your hands on the entire range of chocolate balls as much as your pockets can handle. By now, I was slightly nauseous, so all I could handle was one dark chocolate ball.
Yeah, the chocolate. That's the whole reason why I went in there, because we could have unlimited chocolate, which is pretty much the same as the Cadbury factory in Birmingham. So you get access to unlimited chocolate in there. It gets a bit much after a while. As fun as that is, I don't think I can handle that much chocolate.
Our tour concluded at the chocolate factory, and we were given public transport passes to get back to Zurich. We could choose to use that pass to get on a ferry or take a bus. To mix the experience up, we chose the latter. And we're soon zipping along the lake's shoreline heading towards the city center.
You know, time really flies when you're having fun. So this is our final night in Zurich, and we are gonna have dinner because our hotel is located along this stretch. This is Bahnhoftrasse, which is, you know, the main shopping district, so our hotel is not too far from here. So we are gonna have dinner at a restaurant close by, and I will show you that restaurant in a minute. So yeah, let's head down there right now, yeah?
Bahnhofstrasse is the main downtown street of Zurich, and it is one of the world's most expensive and exclusive shopping avenue. It is Europe's most expensive street for retail property. Bahnhofstrasse is lined with designer boutiques, with most fashion houses represented. But I think I could only afford to buy a pair of socks from H&M.
And here we are, guys, just off the street from Bahnhofstrasse. There is this restaurant which caught my eye earlier on, and this is Zeughauskeller. I thought, you know, I wanted something Swiss, and that looked very Swiss, whatever they had on the menu. I thought we'd had something Swiss tonight to commemorate our final meal in Switzerland. Yeah. So let's head in there to see what Zeughauskeller is all about. Let's do this.
This building, which houses Zeughauskeller, was built in 1487, which in the Middle Ages signified war and frequent periods of violence. Zeughaus in itself means an arsenal warehouse in German, which gives you an idea of what this structure was intended for. Thankfully these days, the scenery is a lot more peaceful, and we're here to indulge in our final Swiss gastronomical experience for this visit. Dinner tonight was as interesting as it could be. Well, at least for me it was. Hubby went for a rather safe, tried and tested meal of schnitzel and chips. Since everything in the menu was written in German, my jet-lagged brain refused to compute. So I just pointed at the next table and asked the waitress, "Was ist das?" And I ended up with a serve of geschnitzelte Kalbsleber. As the saying goes, ignorance is bliss. There is very little I don't eat, because you know I'm a foodie. And also as an Asian, we eat everything with legs except tables and chairs. So my culinary repertoire extends far and wide. But one thing I cannot handle is liver. And guess what? Here I am, chomping away and savoring everything to the last bit, and not even knowing I was eating liver until after I left the restaurant, in the comfort of my hotel bed, and then deciding to Google the name of this dish. I take my hats off to Zeughauskeller for preparing this dish so well, I did not even taste the livery liver yuck. And the potato rosti which came with it. Oh my god! So buttery, well seasoned, crispy on the outside and pillowy soft on the inside. Overall, I'd say this dinner was a winner. Together with drinks, our bill came up to around 45 Swiss francs per person. And here we are in the conclusion of my first ever trip to Zurich. I grew up in Singapore in the early 70s, then a newly independent country which was squalid, dirty, and struggling to make things work. In school, we were fed the government propaganda of aiming to have a Swiss standard of living by the year 2000. Fast forward many decades later, I'm standing here in Switzerland and I understand why. This country is so efficient, very organized, and just like Singapore, it's made out of distinctively very different regions with vastly different languages and cultures. And yet, the federation as a whole comes together and turns with precision like clockwork. Everything here has a place. The streets seem to be devoid of rubbish, graffiti, and most importantly, scammers. On the flip side, this high standard of living has come at a price. No pun intended. It's so expensive. Unless you're an investment banker earning those big dollars, anyone else would have a challenge trying to make things work. And yet, the social assistance program seems to cope relatively well, perhaps due to the high taxes. Well, I think it's time to join Live Ryan outside Zeughauskeller to close off this video. So let's go!
And that was our final dinner here in Zurich, which is such a beautiful conclusion to our stay here in Switzerland. So what do you think of Zurich? I mean, have you been here before? Let me know in the comments. And if you've not been here before and after watching this video, you want to come here, let me know as well. Alright, drop a comment, and because I'm very eager to hear from you. So anyway, in the meantime, I've chucked details of my Instagram on your screen right now. So hit me up there and chuck me a follow, so you can actually see where am I traveling to in real time, and it also gives you an idea of the type of videos that will be coming up on my YouTube channel. And if you like what you see, do not forget to vergessen Sie nicht, sich anzumelden. Dankeschön und auf Wiedersehen. And I will see you for my next video.